So, anyways, and ready in 3, 2, 1, and we're back after the thrilling. I mean, we had to take a minute. Like, we had to take a full hour in between this and Arrival of a Train just to come to terms with the action. You know, I had to go take some.
I was too wired after Arrival of a Train.
Yeah, I had to take some blood pressure medicine to get my head on straight.
Yeah, still had vertigo after all that high pulse pounding action.
And now we have
technically.
Technically, what?
Can a documentary be an action movie? Because I would classify this more as a documentary. Maybe that film we just watched.
I mean, if you watch if you watch like the fucking Disney Earth, the Flight of the Koala Bears or whatever, one of their movies, and you watch a animal fight another animal, that's an action scene, right?
Pretty
like,
exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess it's true. So yeah, this can be both a documentary and an action film. I guess that Michael Bay parkour movie that's coming out will be a documentary, but also
I really want to see that parkour movie. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get back into Michael Bay. I'm ready to sip at the altar of Michael Bay again.
Me too. We'll watch Ambulance in preparation.
Michael Bay should do a nature documentary. Now that would be an action movie. If Michael Bay presents the fucking seagulls, I'd be like, that's an action movie. Those seagulls are gonna.
Yeah, maybe with his skibbity toilet money, he'll fund a passion project about seagulls fighting.
These streets came rough with these seagulls. We still gotta watch Ambulance.
We do. Ambulance Terry definitely has to be a near future one.
But anyways,
after Saltburn.
Yeah, after Saltburn. Anyways, we if you watched our Mission Impossible commentary, or you watched our trainmentary, we are back and going to go to the promised land as Tom Cruise fights AI itself in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which is just called Dead Reckoning. There's no part 1. Now, funny enough, if you didn't watch the Mission Impossible commentary, you missed the hilarious joke of the ending of Mission Impossible and Amazon literally telling me the next movie you should watch is number 7. Skip all those other ones. All those other ones pale in comparison to this one, which is the best one.
Yep. So which again, the entity which we're about to deal with was clearly listening to us and was like, "I got you guys covered. Here's Dead Reckoning, right? Queued up for you."
Yeah.
Now let me set up my copy.
Oh yeah, you gotta get because it was so hard to find that. It was so hard to find that train one that we. Yeah,
I'm still closing out of all the tabs for the train at the station.
Yeah. The Book of Mulholland Train Drive.
Yeah. Well, the next one, if we're doing them chronologically on that 100 Greatest Action Movies, is The General from 1926, which is Buster Keaton on a runaway train, like, doing slapstick, which is an awesome movie. That would be a great commentary. A silent film, but, like, a lot of fun, and a lot more, perhaps you'll find it a little more sophisticated than the...
so it's like a silent movie, but he's, like, doing slapstick on a train? Is he like a robber, or is he just a man trying to get from point A to point B?
He's a Confederate dude who's like, I think he works as a steam shoveler on the train, but then like Union soldiers attack, and he has to like, wait. So it's a Confederate propaganda movie where there's dirty Unions. Civil War, and he is the hero, and he is on the Confederate side.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Is it a parody, or is it like taking seriously the fact that he's a Confederate?
The fact that he's a Confederate is mostly like, just like, hey, he's a good dude. There were good dudes on both sides.
Oh my goodness! Wait, when did this movie come out?
1926. So
1926.
This was like 40 years after the Civil War.
Dang.
Still okay with occasionally having a good guy be on the Confederate side, which is a little iffy.
That sounds amazing.
But that one is actually worth it because it is very proto Tom Cruise, because he is doing some like genuinely impressive like stunts in that movie. So we'll get to that one someday. But And is more sophisticated than Arrival at the Train, because you get like an actual. There's a love story, and like.
Oh, he's got a love interest on the train as well.
Yeah, because he's got a that's like he's got. I think it's like something like his lady friend's dad is like, you're a loser, but then he proves his moxie by stopping the bad guys on the train.
Oh, this sounds amazing. I bet those no good union people just try to take his lady love from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those wicked Northerners.
Yeah, those wicked Northerners and their no good thoughts on free men and shit.
Anyway, that is a commentary for another time. Maybe even after Saltburn.
Yeah. But I'm down. I'm ready to rep the union.
All right. So my version is 2 hours 46 minutes 43 seconds.
All right. I am at 2:46:43 as well. So,
all right, excellent.
We are going into this one. It is going to be Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I hope you all have a good time. Let's get ready because Final Reckoning is, God, that's a horrible name, isn't it? Final Reckoning. That is such a stupid. That's such a stupid name. You should have just kept calling it Dead Reckoning.
Well, this one famously underperformed. Didn't make as much money as they were hoping it would. Because that was like the year when this one and Fast X both came out and kind of ate shit at the box office. So,
yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like, let's not call it Dead Reckoning Part 2 because that'll scare people off. Let's really emphasize that.
Man, there's a real, like, hey, fix this in post kind of side to, like, these movies nowadays. Avengers is calling it, Thunderbolts is calling itself New Avengers now. Mm-hmm. Dead Reckoning is now, they really keep doing this, don't they? Where they're just like, all right, we got to make these changes on the fly, so, get rid of this. Well, video games have been doing this for years, because, again, like 90%, it's crazy just how much, like, we as a culture, and what I mean by that is video game culture, not so much you, but, like, it's crazy how much we as a culture have just accepted that games can be released broken now, and they'll just fix it later, and that's fine. Like, and, like, legitimately, like, you have no choice but to accept it, because, like, they can do it. Like, it doesn't, the only thing you can say is, well, I'm not going to buy it till they fix it, which, well, great, but eventually you are going to buy it, and eventually, or you just won't play it. It's crazy how, because Cats did this too, right? Didn't Cats fix something in post and, like, shoot it out to video movies, and they realized the first weekend that they had, like, not filled in the CGI on some of their hands, so they just had, like, human hands, so they had to do a rush, like, patch on it. Yeah.
But the first weekend, people got to see, like, Judi Dench, you could just see Judi Wench.
A good character idea.
You could just see her wedding ring on her finger in certain shots because it was just a human hand.
Ah, that's crazy. Like, but yeah, I think we're gonna be seeing more of this. Like, just, oh, that didn't work, let's just quickly change it. Like,
well, speaking of AI, like, that's what's gonna be a big downside of this kind of, like, generative software is you're gonna be like, oh shoot, we didn't look close enough. There's a
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I think there's 12 fingers on one hand or something.
Yeah. God, that's crazy. And the change it to Final Reckoning is just so silly, because that's not even a better title. It's just a more confusing title, because you already did the Dead Reckoning. You can't now have the Final Reckoning.
Yeah, and a reckoning is, there's usually just one of those. I feel like there's one and two reckonings, but.
Oh. But all right. We'll go ahead and get started, because this is like a 3-hour long movie.
Which we'll talk more when we're just play. All
right, yeah, 3, 2, 1, let's go and play.
All right. Yeah, but I wanted to say, but I realized, let's start playing while we talk. But I know that's a little bit of that's kind of my problem going into Final Reckoning, is that it's 170 minutes, and I'm like, but there's already been 2 hours and 45 minutes of table setting in this one.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember this fucking blowing my mind that we're dealing with AI. Like, I have them, like, this whole bit in the beginning, I was like, no, there's no way that this is what we're doing.
Kind of the same when I realized that like it was an evil robot. That kind of was quite a shock to me. Where I was like, "Oh, this is a legit like a change for this series."
Yeah.
Because previously, like the most sci-fi element is like the masks, and I guess the third one has that rabbit's foot that like is unknown, but it just spreads forever until it destroys everything. That weapon.
Yeah.
But even that one, the joke is kind of that they never actually tell you what it is, and if you open it, it'll set it off, so you can never know what it is.
And the tech they use is always like very like big screeny. Like remember the car has like a HUD, and when they do the deep sea or the water heist, like you can really like. You can see his breath level and, like, the percentage of his breath and stuff. That's always been kind of the more sci-fi elements, is that, like, the, all of their tech, like, has a real, like, knowledge base to it that's kind of weird in some sense.
Yeah,
like
the displays are displaying very advanced info.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the submarine intro being pretty cool on the big screen. And getting me kind of pumped. Though, yes, like you say, when we figure out it's AI, I was like, excuse me? And it gets, like, kind of philosophical, because the villain, doesn't he, like, worship it like a god?
And, yeah, like, something like that.
He Tom thinks, Cruise's like, old friend. I'm the Antichrist. Like, I'm destined to destroy the Earth. Kind of like John Hurt in V for Vendetta, how... Oh, I think that's only in the comics. His character, like, worships this, like, supercomputer that monitors...
Really? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, like a god. But I think the movie cuts that subplot out, which is kind of a bummer.
Aw. I don't know if you remember, but, Alfred, the story of Bruce Wayne's butler, has V for Vendetta in it. I told you that, right? And, like, the third season, they bring in V for Vendetta.
V is a character in that. You mentioned that, and yes. It was so fucking weird to me that I must have just, like, memory holed it, because that is crazy.
Yeah, he has a whole plot in the third season, which is crazy that it got to 3 seasons. But yeah, V for Vendetta shows up in everything, which it is a DC comic, so...
Yeah, like, they're allowed to do it, but it's, like, it's crazy because... V for Vendetta is set in a dystopian future, and Alfred is a period show, right? It would have to be.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, they picked the weirdest character to include by his nature is in the future.
One day I gotta sit down and watch it, just because I really like the actor, and they do a whole bit. Speaking of weird things in that movie, they do a whole bit where he fucks, or he has a romance with the Queen of England. A secret romance.
Oh, Queen of England's having a little bit of Alfred on the side.
Yeah, that's a whole plot point. I'm so glad that you forgot about that V for Vendetta thing.
Yeah, I remember you sharing that with me and me being like, "What the hell? That's so odd." And then just I'm experiencing it all over again.
It's just so weird and out there.
Like, yeah, if you could, I guess because he's very British and Alfred's kind of British. I guess that's why he was a good fit. They thought.
They must have done an Anarchy season and were just like, well,
right, because Anarchy is already the Batman ripoff of V for Vendetta.
That's true, he is. I think they've been fooled by a deep fake.
Yep. They the same thing. All those. This is the equivalent of on Facebook. All those things being like, Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya are starring in a Labyrinth reboot, and you're like, no, and your grandparents are like, I'm so excited, and you're like, that's clearly fake. That's clearly an AI generated image.
Ooh, it was all a ruse.
Yeah, man, it was a deep fake. It was like the Doctor Who episode where the bad boyfriend of Ruby Sunday doesn't believe anything is real.
God, I can't. That dude is, and I know for a fact that dude is coming back for the final 2 episodes, and I cannot stand it.
Yeah, because Mrs. Flood lets him out at the end.
Yeah, so no, he's gonna be a major player, which I do not get it.
I don't know. You weren't enchanted by that character?
No. He's such a bad Doctor Who villain. Like, it just boggles my mind. And for the Doctor to have, like, this big speech at him on the end, like, dude, you weren't even there. Like, you're sitting here calling this guy, like, the antithesis of everything that you stand for, but you didn't even meet him.
Hey, Doctor, if you hate him so much, why didn't you stop him earlier?
Yeah, why didn't you pick up the phone, man? What's funny about that bit, and now we're just talking about Doctor Who, but what's funny about that bit is...
We were supposed to keep it in until our official Doctor Who-mentary, but yeah, it's coming out a little bit.
What's funny about that bit, though, is, like, you would think the reason why he wouldn't have been there was because he couldn't get back, because he had already picked up, what's her face? The nurse, whose name I already forgot.
But at the end of that episode, he's like, "Who's Belinda?"
Yeah, he doesn't even have Belinda. They literally wrote a reason for him not to be there, but they were like, "Nah, he was just not there because he was just not there. He had his own things going on," which I guess is on brand. But still,
Doctor's got a lot of problems. He can't actually stop this man, but he can yell at him. He can show up to scold him.
God, it's just so stupid. I rewatched the first 2 Capaldi episodes last night.
Ooh,
they have a lot of weird stuff to them. There's they are very weird episodes.
I'm not into the first one with the dinosaur. I remember liking the Dalek one overall. I especially like when he makes that lady say please before he helps her.
Yeah.
That's a good... I'm not a big fan of... what kind of sinks the first Capaldi season for me is I don't like... What's his name? Danny or whatever? The boyfriend of
Yeah, Clara. Danny's real weird.
I find him kind of a non... I'm not into him as a character, unfortunately. I don't like his, traumatized soldier thing. I don't know. Their love story did not do much for me.
Oh, right. They have a whole oath thing. We live and die in the shadows for those we hold close, and for those we never meet.
Oh, are you talking about the movie we're watching?
Yeah.
That's right. He's the new member.
Yeah. I remember this.
I thought you were remembering that Danny and Clara Oswald have an oath.
No, they have that really weird bit, though, where, Clara says something super offensive about how soldiers only kill, and I was like, why would Danny ever want to be involved with this woman after she made that joke? It gets real. Those first 2 episodes are real weird in terms of how those characters act. They're not without. It's not without its goodness, but it is. It is.
I actually like all the Dalek stuff in that one. I like Capaldi letting that one dude die because he was dead anyway. There's some good Dark Doctor bits in that episode. Yeah. But I find Clara and that dude's love story really odd. Because I don't know.
Policia Nationale, Ethan Hunt. He was going to be in prison, and your government forgave you.
Clara Oswald should have ended up with Ethan Hunt, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. She could have also made a soldier.
You would have been a better love interest for her. He would have, waited for her for 1,000 years, like Auton Rory.
Oh, they do give him a love. Look, it's the. And because he's super old, they gotta cast him in shadows and stuff. It's so weird that they just start the first movie. He just has parents.
Yeah, but here they retcon it as this, when you go to the IMF, you give up on everything you love or whatever, and have to live alone in the shadows. Whereas, his parents have a bank account that he's aware of and stuff, in that first one.
Wanted 50,000.
Oh, Ilsa Faust, my favorite character. I have not yet gotten spoiled whether she's back or not, so don't tell me if you know, but, like, I'm kind of like, there's no way she's not, right?
Well, they tried to make Hallie Atwell the new her, so...
I know, but I'm also just like, but that's for a fake out. They're gonna, at the very least, she's gonna smooch him in the last scene or something, or bury him if he dies. I don't know, however it goes down. But I could be wrong. They could have just killed her unceremoniously, and will never go back to her. But also the fact that it's 170 minutes makes me think, like, come on, there's got to be room for Ilsa Faust in that last one.
It's so weird that they, like, imply he was a fugitive and they forced him into the government. It's very interesting.
To get his record expunged. Yeah.
And Kittredge is like, you will listen this time.
And then Clara Oswald, the impossible girl, she makes a souffle and she's a Dalek.
But yeah, I'm also not a big Danny fan. To answer now that we're done with the lore part, which is the only part I was super interested in, I'm also not a big Danny fan. And again, the start of their relationship is super weird because she straight up is like, "Isn't a soldier only good for killing?" And he's like, "That's
hey man, fuck that dude. I'm more Team Clara." But to your point, they would not ever date each other.
Yeah, no.
How she really felt.
And the doctor refusing to take that girl because she's a soldier is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I actually thought maybe it's just because, like, I like Clara more with Matt Smith than Peter Capaldi. I remember thinking that soldier lady would have been kind of a cool companion for the Capaldi doctor.
It would have been. I kind of think that so this will probably be, and I have to rewatch it, but, like, I remember thinking at the end that Capaldi and Clara worked better than Capaldi and Smith, but I can't. It's been too long since I've seen the Capaldi era. But I think she really...
I think you're right. I'm mainly talking about their first season together, but like, that second one I find actually quite powerful. Like their story together and him being so like worked up when she dies, like that all really works on me.
Yeah, no, I think at the end they get a little bit more heat to them. Though it is funny in that first episode, he straight up goes, "This is why I miss Amy sometimes." And she's like, "Who's Amy?" She's like, "Don't worry about it." That did make me laugh. Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a plot hole because Clara's whole thing is that she's interacted with every single, the doctor at all points in his history.
Yeah.
Going back to the first one. So she presumably would have seen Amy and Rory at some point.
God, this is a really good scene.
I remember liking. I actually do like. Yeah, I take that back. I do like her and Capaldi a lot, especially in his regeneration one when she shows up at the end. I remember getting real like choked up when she's the last one she sees or he sees or whatever. That's very heartbreaking, that last one, because he gets to see all his buddies, Clara, Bill, and Nardole, but they're all like projections. So he's kind of one of the only doctors who dies alone.
Yeah, isn't that whole final episode that like he thinks it's a bad guy, but everybody's actually happy with where they're at?
Yeah, they're all down being like memories in this like supercomputer or whatever. I really like that. I know that's a very controversial. Like there was some lame 2-hour video essay about why that was the worst episode ever, and I'm like, nah, man. I quite like
his regeneration speech is the best. Silly old universe.
Yeah.
They're just going to get it wrong without me.
It's always foolish to be cruel and always wise to be Ilsa Faust.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful monologue.
Man, this action scene is very good.
Yeah.
The sandstorm, fucking sniper fest.
To get off Doctor Who and onto Final Destination. I mean, Final Reckoning and Dead Reckoning. From what I was hearing, this movie and Final Reckoning are two of the most expensive movies ever made. I think Final Reckoning is $450 million, because it was shooting around COVID, so they actually had to like delay it and like put another $100 million and more reshoots to like finish it.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
I think that might be part of why things get kind of wonky and long and CGI in these movies, because I think there was a messy production to them. And why maybe this scene is so awesome, because it's very early in the production. That's just my wild speculation. I don't know how.
Oh no, Ethan, your person died.
He lost his lady friend.
The Entity. I love how they call it the Entity too. That's such a great name for an AI.
That thing is very cool. Also, I believe that's, speaking of Doctor Who, that is Mark Gatiss.
Oh yeah.
Writer of many Doctor Who episodes, and also acts in a lot of them, including the last Capaldi episode. He's the general at the Christmas treaty or whatever that he hangs out with. He wrote that not very good episode, Sleep No More, the found footage one with the Sandman monsters.
Oh yeah, they did do a found footage one.
Yeah, about like there's actually a monster that gives you the eye boogers while you sleep or something.
Man, this thing has access to a lot of things.
Mm-mm. Also, I like that dude who's also in Top Gun Maverick there. He plays the character Jefferson Twilight on the Venture Brothers.
Oh.
Who is a Blade parody, and there's a very funny bit, because his whole thing is like, I hunt Blackulas, and someone says, so you mean you hunt African-American vampires? And he's like, no, they're from all different countries. I don't know the PC term for a black vampire, so I'll call them Blackulas.
That is pretty funny. I like that a lot. One day, man. One day, me and Venture Brothers are gonna get real acquainted with each other.
Oh yeah, you'll have to. Now that there's the movie came out that wrapped the series up more or less. But anywho, I believe this is Tom Cruise.
Yes, yes. He's in a mask.
He's gonna put on his Green Goblin mask, and yeah, to the other podcast's point, he's gonna gas everybody with the Goblin bombs. I was watching some Disney's Gargoyles. Macbeth does throw a smoke bomb at one point, so I'm having a smoke bomb day or a smoke.
Gargoyles is the other thing I need to eventually sit down and just watch.
Yeah, that one I understand. It's actually, because all the episodes are like 8-parters. It's surprisingly kind of like dense and slow for a kids show.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's a very lore heavy show, really.
Yeah, like I'm actually always shocked that it was ever like as popular as it was, because it's like, man, that is like some thick nerdery, that show. With old David Xanatos, who, okay, tangent.
Yeah.
There are so many Reddit threads and YouTube videos that are like, David Xanatos is way better than Lex Luthor because he always has a contingency plan and can do everything right.
Who the fuck is David Xanatos?
Huh?
Who the fuck is David Xanatos?
He's the villain of Gargoyles. He's like the guy with the goatee and the ponytail who's like the evil industrialist. Yeah. And he's way smarter than anybody ever. And Gargoyles fans are like, he's way cooler than Lex Luthor because he has no flaws. And I'm like, that makes him kind of less cool than Lex Luthor to me, if we're being honest. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, back to my boy Kittredge.
Oh yeah, he's got control of the room, man.
Yeah. Man, watching these back to back is quite a trip, because I'm seeing him now as a much older man.
He's actually looking pretty good though for his age.
Oh no, he's weirdly not as jowly as Tom Cruise is in this film. Also, Mr. Princess Bride himself there, Cary Elwes.
I will say, and this is kind of funny because we just watched number 1, This movie has already been talking way too long.
Yeah, like this is, again, what I sort of felt a little bit with this one in the theater, and that, from what I've heard, and who knows, maybe I'll love it, but Final Reckoning kind of doubles down on this problem, is that there are, like, really extended scenes of yakking in boardrooms.
Yeah, like, we have been in the conference room far too long, it feels like.
Compare it to the first one, which is, like, under 2 hours, like, you know, within the first 10, 20 minutes, everybody gets murdered.
Yeah.
And by the halfway mark, they're doing the Langley heist, and then, you know, it's just a straight shot to the end there. Yeah, so I do kind of get the complaint of, like, if this was if it's 2 movies, they should probably not both be over 2.5 hours. And actually, I was going to say in the opening credits, but I forgot, because we were talking about, Clara Oswald, the Impossible Girl. The Harry Potter movies, Deathly Hallows Part 2, I always respect that movie is, like, short and just, like, gets to the action, is like...
Right.
We were camping out in the woods in Part 1, Part 2 is gonna basically be the climax.
It's the Battle of Hogwarts, just told through a really long... Yeah, that is one of the better... That is one of the better... Hey, we're gonna split these movies into 2 kind of movies, because it does really work that Part 2 is basically just the Battle of Hogwarts.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think, like, that's a good question. We can kind of get into this with this episode. Like, what are some other ones? Like Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those do okay, just because those ones feel a little more discrete, each one. Like, it's not like one... It doesn't feel exactly like one long story.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean is another kind of one that works, because it ends with him, the Barbossa reveal and the going into... God, look at that goblin mask. Yeah.
Out, am I?
Out. Everybody turns into skeletons.
Yeah, they turn all into CGI skeletons. The Macy's parade. I mean, at least he's nice enough to his old boss to be like, "Hey, man, I'll give you a gas mask."
This Neil McDonough looking character.
Huh?
This Neil McDonough looking person.
I was almost gonna say that yourself. He totally does look like Neil McDonough. Oh, he uses the cloth. He doesn't want to get his germs on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, gotta say, Henry Czerny kind of is a bit of a silver fox compared to Tom Cruise now, at this point. Not to be mean to Tom Cruise. His,
Somebody would have killed Ethan Hunt a long time ago in the real world. I'm surprised. That should be his final... Honestly, fuck him fighting fuck him fighting the AI at the end of this... as his final Mission Impossible movie. The final Mission Impossible movie should really just be him having to face the IMF itself. Like, because in all honesty, they would have killed him a long time ago. It'd been like, this dude is batshit insane and is unstoppable. We gotta send everything we got at him.
Yeah, and they should have realized, like, also, given how many times he goes rogue and that he's unstoppable, like, we can't actually trust him as an asset, even though he does want to save the world for the most part, so he's, I think that's kind of what ultimately leaves them alive, is they're like, well, he has stopped people from, like, nuclear annihilating the planet a couple of times, so, like, I guess he can stick around. Oh, but I was going to say, the Pirate sequels, I feel like the second one does have a little too much running around, so I don't think that's... I do like the third one a lot more than the second one overall.
But I'm saying number 2 leading into 3 as a part, like number 2 being a part 1 to number 3 being a part 2. Do you think that works? Because I would argue that, like, part 3 kind of hits the ground running. There is a lot of talky in it, because it's pirates. It's also fun talkie like the.
Yeah, man. No. I actually excited. I really like At World's End. Yeah, I do think that one hits the ground running with them hanging everybody, and I like the trip into the Netherworld.
Yeah, and then them doing all those meetings. Like the meetings are super interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that. But though I was just more saying, like, even though I wouldn't call that a perfect part 1 and 2, because I do find Dead Man's Chest has a lot of, like, running around and stuff that never really pays off, like how they're going to do it. They have to get 100 souls or whatever, and that just kind of kills, like, 20 minutes of time.
Right. Yeah.
Amount to too much. And even stuff I like in that second one, like the fight on the wheel or while they're on the cannibal island, is kind of just like, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's more my thing, is that I think, though 2 has some good parts, I do think, like, I can feel that one, like, padding it out a little more. Not as bad as this movie to an extent. Though again, maybe we'll see how I need to see these 2 as a a back-to-back thing to really. I'm talking with one hand behind my back because I haven't seen Final Reckoning yet. So maybe it'll all really work for me. Maybe I'll be like, nah, man, Final Reckoning rules. Ties it all together. What's another one of that style? Well, I guess the OG one was Back to the Future 2 and 3. First time they really did with that. And that one, it works because even though, they tell, like, a story across 2 and 3, they're so standalone, like, because 2 is the future and then replaying the first one, and then 3 is all the Western, so. Feel like it's got. Sorry, I was distracted by handsome Henry Czerny there.
Eugene Kittredge.
The man himself. I am curious to see how the Spider-Verse does it in 12 years when that third one comes out.
It's gotta be, like, a really tight story. Like, the way that movie ends, you gotta hit the ground running. I need to get right. That movie should basically pick off right where that movie ended at.
I agree. It should be like just kick off right into the 2 miles facing off.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Like anything less is not.
No, it should be they do the comic authority stamp, and then, like, first shot has to be like him zapping his way out of those chains and punching him or something. Like, it's got to be like the first second.
Of course. Oh, do.
Oh, so I forget. This is something. Do all of them do this? Where, like, the opening credits are like.
Well, we just watched number 1, and I can't remember. So
they did this in part. I think they did this in part 1 as well.
I don't know if everyone does it, but
at least these 2.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. It makes it feel more like a TV show.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because this is like the. Like the Buffy intros or something, where it's all the actors and a few shots of them from shows doing stuff. It's crazy that they kind of give away the big motorcycle jump in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not sure how I feel about that actually, to be honest.
Yeah. Dead Reckoning Part 1! Hey! It was on mine! Did you get that on yours?
I didn't. I went by it too fast. I didn't see. I'll have to go back.
Go back at the end. I want to know, because mine did say Dead Reckoning Part 1. Which is hilarious.
Maybe they're just going to do Final Reckoning Part 2 in parentheses in theaters. Actually, I will spoil myself on... No, I won't. I'll keep away. I was just going to see if Wikipedia tells me if it's titled Part 2. The hell?
Am I reading Shape-Shifting Incarnation of Chaos?
Yeah, man, he's not...
Again, they would just kill this man. Like, they would have snuffed him out in his sleep a long time ago.
He's a trickster god. That Ethan Kraft.
That would be a funny... That would be a funny movie. Tom Cruise as Loki?
Yeah, okay, he could have pulled it off back in the day.
Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Speaking of Tony Stark, yeah, and Gargoyles, a lot of the those stupid fans are like, David Xanatos is like Lex Luthor meets Tony Stark, because he's always making like mechanical gargoyle mech armor to wear when he fights him.
Is this guy really that good? I don't think gargoyles defeat him every time.
No, actually, usually he's always at the end chuckling and saying like, that was all part of my plan.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. Honest. That just means that does his plans ever come to fruition, I guess is my question.
Kind of, because he does succeed at a lot of stuff, but they do, like, dig at him at one where they're like, yeah, but your main goal was to become immortal, and that hasn't happened, so, you know, like, they blow a raspberry in his face.
Okay.
And I think he does become more of an anti-hero as the show goes on, like, he's not as evil as he is up front. But, it's been a while since I've seen that show, but either way, I do find him... Just from the way fans were talking about him, he's a bit of an overrated villain, I guess I would say, because they really like him, them Gargoyle fans, and usually because he's so perfect, which I think makes him less interesting as a character, IMO. Anyway, I remember liking this flight terminal sequence quite a bit.
There is so much talking in this movie, though. I can already... I'm like... Because think about Fallout. Like, they have that meeting going to the plane, and then they go onto the plane, and, like, that's... It's pure action for, like, what? 20 to 25 minutes?
Yeah, and a couple of them, like, even lead into each other. Like, the action scenes, because, like, they have the breakout, and then they have the chase in the middle, and then, like... what's his name? Solomon Grundy's like drowning in the thing, holds his breath when they go underwater.
Yep.
Like,
there's plane jump that leads to getting into the club, which leads to the bathroom fight, which then leads to the fucking buy where Vanessa Kirby fights like two dudes and stabs one of them. Like there's almost always action on the screen. Like comparatively to this, where it's just been like two conversations and a gassing in the middle of it.
Yeah, and one fight with the desert, but even that one is cool, but also it's like a flashback, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, which is kind of something. Alright, but this scene I remember liking, but yeah, you're right, it was like, what are we, like half an hour in, so it takes a while to get to the first big set piece, kinda, relatively speaking.
Man, they're really they're really throwing back Ving Rhames, and I only know these are Ving Rhames call signs because we just watched the first one. Who would remember that Phineas Freak was one of the call signs that they used for him back in the first movie?
Yeah, this movie's all about paying tribute to the longtime fans with these, deep cuts. I do like that Shea Wiggum. He's always good.
Yeah, I like Shea Wiggums as well. Like you touching old. Because you'd have to, right? Because it's Tom Cruise. Like you'd have to pull on the face.
Oh shoot!
I didn't. Oh, I thought maybe the AI did that.
Maybe.
No,
the AI was.
He said Phineas Freak did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's his moniker, his nom de guerre.
Mm-hmm.
Or nom de guerre, I think is actually the proper way of saying that.
Oh. Yeah, you know more about that than I. I'm usually the grammar police, but here I'm like, I'll take your word for it, man. Isn't Phineas Floop the Spy Kids villain, by the way?
I think so, yeah.
I believe Alan Cumming is that guy. We should do a Spy Kids Mentary. I actually don't want to do a Spy Kids
I would watch the first one again, just to see if it's... I can't imagine it holds up. I imagine it would be mind-numbing.
Yeah, probably isn't.
Like, imagine that CGI.
Yeah, though I believe like they all have too much CGI gunk, but I think like it's a like building up of it. So the first one I think is not too bad with it.
I don't know. I remember those fluke plate people looking real
iffy.
Yeah.
Because the third one is with Sylvester Stallone as the Toy Man or whatever, and that's all in the video game. So that's all.
That's My Kids 3.
That's what I'm saying. Like the third one, it gets like way worse with it, right?
Yeah.
The first one, I mean, they all have bad CGI, I'm sure. The first one kind of looks like that video for Black Hole Sun, if I'm remembering right.
Why would you believe anything that you were finding on a computer? You are literally dealing with AI.
Yeah, I would not be trusting any information I'd be getting on a computer right now. The entity could be, juking it all. No, this is the end of Toy Story 2. Speaking of children's films.
God, that Peggy Carter movie, the Peggy Carter TV show is so fucking good. Such a shame what they did to that character. Oh,
that they made her off-screen marry Steve Rogers, even though she moved on in the show,
and was a whole vital part of that show.
Was her like, hey man, I gotta move on, and then it's like, no, she'll get magically retconned with time mantics.
Yep.
To be in his lady love again. I mean, we won't even see her face when they're dancing at the end. Or maybe we do. I don't know.
You see it. Yeah, no, it is her, but it is great. It's just batshit insane. Look at Tom Cruise doing magic again. You think his tragic backstory was that he was a street magician? He was also pickpocketing and watched Gabriel kill a woman or whatever. I like the idea that he
would be one of... Speaking of... Well, this is going back to our first Mentary, but yeah, he would be like one of the Four Horsemen. Yeah. He would be Dave Franco.
Yeah, maybe he was secretly a street magician.
It's possible.
That would be so funny.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you have a passing interest in getting into Magic at one point? Not the card game, but the actual
Yes, I did.
You should follow up.
Don't you remember when we went to Universal and we fucking sat there and watched that magician show?
Yeah, and you were like, "That's what I want. That's the life for me, man."
Yeah, and then if you recall, because I was with my ex-wife at the time, and she was like, "That's stupid."
No, your dream got laughed out of town, man. But now that it's been years later, you should return to your first love.
Sure.
I'm for it. Is all I'm saying. Follow your dreams, man. Give up, Zorro. Abandon your stupid dream. That's the 4 Kids dub of One Piece. Sanji, who sounds kind of like this for some reason. He goes at one point when Zoro's fighting Mihawk. He goes, "Give up, Zoro. Abandon your stupid dream."
So he has the Joey Wheeler accent, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, they totally give him I'm sure it's probably the same dude voicing him.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
because I think Krillin is Usopp in that.
Yeah, he is
in that show.
Yep, and doing the similar.
Yeah, exactly.
They talk about that dude who voices Krillin. He says when I play Usopp, they basically only let me do 15 minutes a day because I can actually permanently destroy my throat if I'm doing the Usopp too much because he's got this voice.
If anybody needs AI deepfake, it's that dude to help save his voice.
Yeah, give him a break.
Speaking of AI, did you hear about the Darth Vader AI in Fortnite and it getting sued?
No, what's going on?
I don't know the particulars of it because I'm not a fan of Fortnite, but apparently there's an AI Darth Vader in the game nowadays, and you can go up and ask it questions, and apparently you get it to curse and stuff. And so Disney had a big ragamuffin about it, and I heard is they were getting sued for it.
Dang.
I know we're in a new and modern age of these this AI shenanigans, just like Benji is right now.
Yeah, at least there's some crackdown, but I know the fear. At the place I work, there was actually a recent roundtable discussion of the benefits and drawbacks of AI, which I didn't get to listen to, but I was buddies with one of the dudes who was part of the roundtable, so he explained a lot to me and said, yeah, one of the fears is that it kind of at this point develops way too fast for legal action to catch up to it. So yeah, it'll be. It's going to be a real ethical issue for a long time, and it might ruin everything before there's even enough time to actually have any laws, adapted for it to stop people from just doing whatever they want with it.
This AI is designed by the Riddler, apparently.
Yeah, man. He's got an Edward Nygma hologram that pops up and goes I guess the first AI in movies is in Jurassic Park when the Newman goes, didn't say the magic word. Didn't say the magic word. And then Sam Jackson angrily goes, please! Because he's can't do that hacker shit. Dude, Haley Atwell does rule. Top bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even just her walking around looking concerned, she is a very compelling person on the big screen. You're just she's got a lot going on in her eyes. This is just the Riddler.
It's a Riddler.
Kind of more of a Riddler of the sort I would want than the Paul Dano Riddler. I'm saying it outright. I like a lot about that Robert Pattinson Batman, but yeah, my hot take is I'm not too keen on
I do like that. I do like that version of the Riddler, but I do miss the campiness. The death traps.
I've never been too into serial killer Riddler. I kind of like a classier, more dapper one. But Paul Dano's very good at it, but also just found him a little too much of a...
He is a little too 4chan, yeah.
And a little too Heath Ledger Joker at times. I mean, before we find out he's a 4chan wiener. But, some of the, homemade, duct tape traps and stuff, I'm kind of I saw this in The Dark Knight already.
No, I don't disagree with you there. I would have liked it more, I think that movie is very tight and very it's a Gotham villain who is very much got a plan and is sticking to that plan, but the plan could have used a little bit more camp, a little bit more maniacal death traps.
Yeah.
I am worried that universe is too grounded and it's a little too real. Because we had that with The Dark Knight, and I don't know, man. I'm kind of into getting a little bit more campiness going on. Superman seems really hitting that classic vibe,
hitting that comic book sweet spot. No, that's kind of my thing where I am still a fan of the Nolan movies and kind of think even though I like a lot about the Robert Pattinson Batman, I kind of wish they had tried a few more steps to remove themselves from the vibe of the Nolan ones, because they I think it invites too many comparisons, I guess, more than
no, I agree with you.
But this scene's pretty cool, where everybody's an enemy.
This is a really fun scene, though. This duel.
Yeah, this whole sequence with the countdown is pretty cool, and they're even just running around, the
duel things.
Yeah. And them under heavy surveillance, which already gets into the AI stuff, and them playing with that, the facial recognition. maybe it's just because he's on my mind, but when those big sunglasses, those aviator sunglasses, Tom Cruise kind of looks like Joe Biden in these shots. Bo Duck.
What was I was about to say? What was that?
I don't remember, and I didn't figure.
It was so fast. I couldn't. I was paying more attention, and I had no idea.
The badonkadonk butt. Oh, there's our villain, and I like that in his first appearance he's dressed like a little tourist there.
He is. I kind of, as much as I was kind of for the whole Ethan Hunt versus AI, I'm kind of going back on it a little bit. I do think it maybe should have been, if we were doing his final mission, it maybe should have been him versus the IMF. Like, I don't know, I do kind of think that's a more fitting ending for Ethan than him fighting.
He Ghost Protocols the IMF is like...
Yeah, like the IMF is finally decided to put him down, and like, you know, him having to deal with that. And the beginning kind of sets it up with him attacking the IMF, or attacking Kittredge, and Kittredge being like, don't be mad, and being like, what did you expect me to be?
Yep. So yeah, it could have been like him taking him down.
Yeah,
could have been cool. I think I still do like the AI. I think more conceptually than in execution.
Yeah, maybe. Well, again, I'm basing it off of what we got, not what it could be.
Yeah, and I guess this being this being a two-parter kind of brings it down, because you could have had both. You could have dealt with the entity in this one, and then the fallout would have been him taking down the Impossible Mission folks.
Because the problem with the AI thing is that it has... I know they give him Dude and Gabriel, so it's not like the AI, the entity, is entirely faceless, but like, The fact that there's nobody for him to like butt up against besides Gabriel, who is from his past, is kind of a letdown, I think.
Yeah, no, well, I think Gabriel in general. What if he'd been John Voight? Would that have done a little more for you?
Maybe, but that might be the first movie speaking through me.
Yeah, because we just saw it, so it would have been more like, oh dang.
Yeah.
Because I do agree, like, it being someone from his past who we've never met or heard about before is kind of weak sauce. It's not really
Yeah, and then how it suddenly needs to like shovel a whole bunch of, oh, this is Tom Cruise's secret. Ethan Hunt's secret backstory, don't you know? Yeah.
Bring back that Doug Ray Scott from the second one, maybe. The guy who was almost Wolverine. Or hell, now that Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, Cooper Hoffman, is acting in movies, have him be the villain. He's out for revenge for his dad's death.
Yeah. That would have been something. I don't know if it'd been something good, but it would have been something.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been that great.
No.
Also, do you think Solomon Burke there, Solomon Grundy, is he going to show up in this last one?
Did he die in the last one? I don't remember.
I think I think he's recaptured at the end of Fallout, so he's still out. Like, he's still kicking. I feel like they should have just made him the villain the third time. Honestly, just made it like that.
I mean, he would have been a better like AI entity hype man.
Yeah, I kind of think so. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like since all of these kind of feel like the same cast again and again, because we're bringing Ilsa through all of them. Like, yeah, just bring back Mr. Redbeard himself, Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, Mr. Born on a Monday himself.
Yeah. The dude from he's really good in a horror movie called Possum that I recommend to our listeners. And you, if you haven't seen it.
I have not.
He's like a sad, traumatized dude who like has a scary puppet in a bag that he carries around with him. Quite freaky and upsetting at times.
This is kind of gonna sound weird, but I'm kind of missing Rogue Nation right now. We could have been at the opera. Tom Cruise could be like, "Hey, I need you for this thing, Benji." But
so you think we should have jumped into Rogue Nation instead?
The Syndicate, yeah, they were the Syndicate.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, I feel like it's just, I guess it's kind of I'm very trilogy brained.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it seems weird to do 2 Syndicate movies and not a third one.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at, like, they should have continued that story one more time for this last one, and brought back old Solomon Grundy there.
Like this, the Gabriel of it all is kind of what's hurting right now.
I really like the actor who plays him.
Yeah, me too.
But he's just not that
interesting.
Kind of a nothing.
Yeah.
Also, Solomon Lane is that guy's name. I was calling him Solomon Grundy as a joke, but I also called him Solomon Burke, who is an R&B singer.
I think Solomon Grundy is a good name for him, though.
Yeah, he should have been Solomon Grundy. We've been on the fast train. And it's going.
What the hell is, like, I guess this guy stole the key?
I suppose. This is also a very Bane-y kind of scene.
Yeah, this guy would have made a good. This guy would have made a good Bane, though.
And this gives you power over me? Oh, I forgot about that. That's kind of rad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still, there's so much talking, man. Like,
yeah.
Good lord.
Oh no, yeah, like that is cool, but I do agree with you. If it had been a deleted scene, I don't think I would have missed it in the runtime of this movie. But I guess they have to establish that he does something scary, so we'll start being afraid of him.
Yeah, but they established that with fucking Henry Cavill very easily. There's a whole fight. He reloads his fucking fist.
Yeah, he reloads his guns. But see, again, because Fallout, much better overall. Fallout, you get so much layers to Henry Cavill, because he's like an actual badass, his character, but he's also really full of himself and not as cool as he thinks. And, he gets knocked out in the free fall and doesn't even realize it, because Tom Cruise saves his ass. Like, there's a lot of stuff to that dude in that movie, and it's in a very short amount of time, to your point. We get a lot of shades to that character, which make him very fun and memorable. Whereas, as much as, again, I do love, I think it's E.C. Morales is the actor playing,
Gabriel, yeah.
Dr. Gabriel Key. He's pretty one note, he's just wicked.
God, him just talking down, like, fucking dressing down Haley Atwell. I just, like, do we need this? Do I need to know intimately who Haley Atwell's character is?
No, and actually in retrospect, it's kind of very obvious that they're going to kill off Ilsa, because they're really giving her a lot more screen time, and,
they
didn't
even talk about Ilsa this much.
Yeah. And man, again, Rogue Nation, Ilsa, and their love is actually, shockingly for a character who only shows up 5 movies in, is like so well established so fast, how immediately there's this like connection and push-pull. It's got a little bit of that like a Batman, Catwoman, Spider-Man, Black Cat kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Where they're soulmates, but they can never totally be together. And yeah, comparatively, this movie's doing like 10 times as much talking, and we're only like kind of getting there with Haley Atwell.
Yeah. See, again, like we've done so much talking in this movie. It's kind of crazy that,
and we're almost an hour in. Actually, it's weirdly there's like an action scene every half hour in this one because the airplane rigmarole was half an hour in, and now we're getting to the car chase. But yeah, it's been like 30 minutes in between.
Yeah, I mean, again, I compare it to Fallout and how like again there's the jump, a little bit of talking, then we're in the bathroom doing the big thing, then we're out of the bathroom, but we're at the black market thing, which technically still has an action sequence in it because there is a Vanessa Kirby gets attacked and has to fight.
Yep.
Like
this part's fun. I do like her betraying him like right away. That's pretty cool. But I agree. And actually, I'm gonna say something blasphemous because I do love Shea Wiggum, but I feel like if you cut those characters out, and it was just Issei Morales after them, might be a tighter movie.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, again, because I mean they established it, but like, how well did they establish it? Because I already forgot who was Shea Wiggums. Isn't he military? Some kind of military entity chasing them? But like,
I think so. On behalf of IMF, perhaps.
See, again, it like, and I know we're talking obviously as this movie is explaining, but like, clearly it was not that. Like,
might have been better to actually just have, and then IMF sends Gabriel after them, not knowing that he's a psycho and pure.
Yeah.
Like that might have been a better tighten it up a little bit, less characters, more direct action. This chase seems pretty good, though, I will say.
I mean, the action's never going to be bad with Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they are always coming up with some incredibly badass stunt magic.
Yeah.
But I remember, especially I think that at some point, right, aren't they like handcuffed together and...
Yeah, they get handcuffed.
And that gets really fun.
They have to drive in unison.
Yep. And see, this scene's pretty good also because the CGI is very minimal, so it does really you're just watching them in a car,
Yep.
I mean, a lot of the stuff crashing into them CGI, but like they do those like weird shaky cam close-ups.
Oh, we forgot to mention the other entity that is chasing them, Mantis herself. Who I can't remember. Is she with Gabriel? What's her deal?
I think I don't know if she's with him, but she is a bad guy at first. I think she might be his henchman, but I think she has a change of heart partway through.
Well, no, doesn't she like have a sword fight with Tom Cruise in a super like tight alleyway or something? Or am I misremembering that?
I think she does, and I think she is his henchman of the Gabriel and the entity, old Plum Clementif. However you, I apologize to her for mispronouncing her name, Palm Clementif. Step away from the cookie jar. He kind of has the same haircut he did in the first one.
Oh, yeah, it is a callback haircut for sure. He's trying to recapture his youth.
Yeah, man. He's chasing... He's freaking Death in Venice over here, man. Yeah, get him, Palm.
Mantis.
Oh.
Does that dude want to kill Ethan Hunt? Is there something going on there?
I'm sorry, what?
Why did I think they were trying to imply something that I didn't quite realize until just now?
Oh, I wasn't sure. I was too.
It seemed like he really wanted to kill Ethan Hunt there for a second. I think there's some kind of revenge thing going on.
Oh, maybe he killed her ex-boyfriend, John Voight. Is the revelation? But yeah, this all is very cool.
Yes.
This scene is an awful lot of fun. And I like that she has a skirt and a cool leather jacket.
Yeah, I mean, they gave her some stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, give her quite a wacky costume.
Christopher McQuarrie should fucking direct Batman the Brave and the Bold. Imagine that.
Oh, he'd make a fun like the more 70s era Batman where he was a bit of a like globe-trotting James Bond type.
Not even just globe-trotting. I'd love to see him like, do his bring his stunt work to like a superhero. Even if it was just set entirely in Gotham City. Imagine the vehicle stunt work you'd get with the Batmobile.
Yeah, he'd do a good Batman voice. I agree. I kind of like that he's far away from that crap. Not to be mean to superhero movies.
That he's far away from superhero movies?
At this point.
No, that's fair. I mean, we have our thoughts.
I think his next one he was saying was a World War II action movie with Tom Cruise again. So
yeah. They'll be making movies until they're 150 together. They'll both die together. that'll be how it ends. He can't live without Tom Cruise. They are two halves of the same coin.
It'll be like Ken Watanabe and DiCaprio in Inception when he tells him like, "Let's leave this dream world and become old men together." Yep. Like, aw, that's very beautiful. Or let's be young men again, whatever it is. It's them implying, like, we're gonna get to do it all over again. Aw, they're best friends.
What was there a safe boat?
That's funny. There were different vehicle options depending on what they needed. Oh.
Shit.
the gadget mobile there. I guess we'll have to do an Inspector Gadgetmentary at some point.
The horniest movie?
Huh?
The horniest movie?
It is insanely horny for no reason.
It is.
I don't understand. Like, I guess Matthew Broderick was some kind of sex symbol. Election is also a disturbingly horny movie. But I don't get it, because he's a very milquetoast man. He can be a good actor, but I'm definitely not dreaming of Matthew Broderick at night. He doesn't fly in through the window like Mr. Burns. Yeah, see, it's these dudes who I don't care about.
No.
There's still 90 minutes at least to go of this motion picture.
And again, you don't feel it with Fallout at all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Fallout is just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you can definitely feel like the. As much as I raved about the formula, you could definitely feel the formula of it all.
Yeah, and I definitely I don't think I felt. I didn't really feel this way when I saw it in theaters. I mostly enjoyed my time, because it's the first time you watch it, so you're figuring
first
stuff
time.
out.
Yeah, first time watching. I know a little thing about that.
Yeah, but on a second run where I kind of know all the bag of tricks, it's Oh.
I'm not saying it's bad necessarily, but man, is it not as good as those other ones? I wouldn't even at this point. I would almost say I kind of enjoyed the first one a little bit more.
I agree, because the first one was already at its climax by the end of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the first one at least has the novelty of it being still a little bit more of a spy thriller than. And
there is talking in that one too, a lot of it, but it's also very tension-ish. Whenever he's talking, Ethan's kind of yelling at people or I
don't know who to trust or whatever. Yeah. And he's trying to piece together who killed his crew or whatever. Yeah, there's more. It's still it's more tightly plotted, I guess. Is all I'll say. Also, just because it's De Palma, there's wackier camera angles and crazy colors, so at least there's a little more, stuff for my eyes to look at while I'm hearing people yammer. I do enjoy how giggly and evil she is. She does seem to enjoy.
Yeah, she enjoys her job. She's definitely a woman who's doing what she loves out there.
Yep. Whoa!
God, it does look good though.
That was pretty good. Blowing that red light and almost dying. Now I remember, I believe the same year. Didn't Fast X? I didn't watch Fast X, but I was hearing that it also had a chase scene on the Roman steps.
I don't know because I didn't actually see Fast X either. It is Thunderbolts, a movie that I started many a times but did not finish.
Never got around
To finishing.
Because I know Jason Momoa, people say he's kind of one of the highlights.
Oh yeah, no, he's really good. There's a whole bit where he's I don't know, there's some kind of wrecking ball that he's having chase after them, and
so that's at least something.
It's Fast. What's going on with Fast X? I feel like it should have came out already. Is it doing okay?
I don't even know if they've started production on it actually.
When did Fast X came out the same time as this movie, right?
Oh no, Fast X, yeah, they were both 2023 is what. Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Fast X.
But and that's what I'm saying, why it's weird. I think they both have chase scenes set in the Roman Colosseum.
In May 2024, Late Tier announced that the film was delayed from its expected release date of April 4th, 2025 to an unspecified date in 2026. To be fair, movies are doing this now where they're just nah, that original release date ain't gonna happen. You gotta wait a year instead.
Yep, we're just...
Yeah.
They pulled that with your Doomsday just now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So I guess Fast X is coming or Fast X Part 2 is coming out when it comes out.
Yeah, and Batman Part 2 will come out whenever.
When it's good and ready.
Yeah.
5 years after the first one.
Is the Batman 5 years old at this point?
2022, so it's 4 years.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, shit moves a little too fast, I would dare say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're already fucking. Oh, look, it's Elsa. Isla.
I call her Ilsa. Isn't Ilsa is She-Wolf of the SS, the famous exploitation movie set in a ladies' concentration camp, and she's an evil Nazi.
There were a lot of words there.
Yeah, there's Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, which Wikipedia describes as a 1975 Canadian Nazi exploitation film about a sadistic and sexually voracious Nazi prison camp commandant. Commandant.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, I think I know what movie you're talking about. Not that I've ever seen it before, because that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, dig this poster.
Oh yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah. That's all I can think of with old Isla Faust.
How could you not?
Now 3, remind me, wasn't it that like Benji was like a pencil pusher who got like pulled into this by Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he didn't. He had kept applying to be a field agent, but never got to be.
And he finally gets his chance with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Old Kenny Loggins himself.
Old Gabriel
Byrne. Gabriel Wolf.
Yeah, I knew who he was. He was my old friend.
Yep, we were the best of friends.
He was the Great Majesto. What would Tom Cruise's street magician name be?
I do like the Great Majesto. That ain't bad.
He would be, you know what, he as a harken to his future career, he would be the disguiser, or the man of many faces. And he, even before he became part of the IMF, he was doing the mask thing. Him and the Great Majesto.
He'd be part of the Disguisey family, like the film Master of Disguise.
Yeah. He once had his own turtle suit.
Yep, turtle.
I love the idea that Ethan Hunt was a street magician who got into crime. So he's a street magician who started pickpocketing, and the Great Majesto, his friend Gabriel, took it too far and murdered a woman. And the police picked him up, and they were like, "You have the skills we need to be part of the Impossible Mission Force." That should be the prequel series, Adventures of Tom Cruise
as a street magician shapeshifter.
Yep.
Maybe she is dead. I'm just thinking about Ilsa Faust now and how she's in them Dune movies. Maybe she did just want out.
Yeah, I mean, she had better shit to do.
Be the Lady Jessica or whatever.
I can spoil it for you, but I will not.
No.
You have to live in anticipation on whether or not Rebecca Ferguson is going to jump out at you in the next movie.
I would like to be either, I can't wait to be either mildly surprised or mildly disappointed. It'll be like I will probably not have a strong feeling either way, to be honest. But
The Entity.
The Entity, which is a fucked up horror movie from the 80s.
Yeah, you should see all the ways he made people suffer as the Great Majesto.
Simon Pegg's kind of got a Doctor Strange goatee, speaking of comic books.
I was just thinking he's got a Doctor Who outfit on.
Well, that too. I mean, he looks similar enough to his character in the Christopher Eccleston season of Doctor Who, where he's the evil operator of Satellite 5, and he has like a bleached goatee and bleached hair.
Wait, Simon Pegg was in Doctor Who? God, I forgot all about that.
The first Christopher Eccleston season, yeah. He was a bad guy, and then he gets eaten by the mighty and holy Jagraphus, I believe is the CGI alien in that episode.
Tom Cruise has a big nose.
Yes, he does.
It's just the way they were shooting that shot. It's like, man, that dude's got a nose on him.
They did have him in silhouette, and then here, I guess it's because he's against a blue sky. It really sticks out.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just, he's got a big nose. His big old nose. They're so, you know what? I really, you are absolutely right. Like, it is kind of criminal that they got rid of this romance. More, if that is in fact what has happened.
If this is her ending, if this is her last outing, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, like that was a really tender moment. Like,
I really liked that scene. I remember, I like it both times I saw it. I was like, aw, and them hanging out in Venice, having one little brief period of calmness before it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe she will pop up at the end and they'll live on a cottage in Venice, or not Venice.
Do you think I mean, surely it won't end with Ethan dying, right?
I don't know. Maybe they'll murder him.
I don't know. Do you think they'll have him at least go into retirement, or do you think it'll just be like, oh, this is the end of another mission?
I feel like they might Dark Knight Rises it, or...
Oh, I feel like yeah. Big Raves is in fucking Paris and is on a corner eating shaved ice at his favorite place, and he turns the corner and he sees the man in many faces performing street magic with him.
Oh no! Better yet, he's a mime.
He's a mime with Ilsaz as like assistant, and they wink. And
he's holding out the hat to put the money in.
Yeah, I think Vic Raves and Tom Cruise exchange a nod, and Vic Raves just gets up and walks away with his shaved ice.
Or he's like a Vegas magician, and she's got like a showgirl getup with like a big feather.
Yeah. No, he would have to go back to his roots. He couldn't move to the big stage. He's a street magician at his heart and at his core.
Just decided that's what he always wanted to do.
He had to go back to what he loved. The IMF stole him from it. He's ready to. He never wanted to be a secret agent. He always just wanted to perform street magic.
Good old Tom Cruise and Rebecca Ferguson. And bad old Gabriel Knight and Haley Atwell.
Oh, Marie was the magician's assistant that they fought over.
Yeah. That Dan Harmon video I sent you where he's annoyed at Now You See Me for 10 minutes is very funny. Where he at one point rants about how, like, they're like, oh, each of them is a different kind of magician. When they get to the lady, they're like, well, she can't just be a kind of magician because she's a girl. Wait, magicians have lady assistants, so how about she's just a badass assistant? And now she takes her clothes off for herself, not for others. Which is true. That is one of the lamer parts of those Now You See Me movies. That they're like, what if she's just a magician's assistant is her gimmick?
There are way too many people at this meeting.
Yep, there's too many characters, man.
Oh, that's right. We got to bring back in Vanessa Kirby as well.
Yep. And see, I remember liking this scene in the theater, finding it kind of tense, and it's a sexy, weird nightclub. But like, yeah, on rewatch, it is another scene of yammering.
Yeah.
Like,
and we did this in Fallout, and again, it was a lot tension because it's very fast, and there's a mini fight scene in between the talking. Because some guy tries to kill her, and she stabs the fuck out of him.
That's right.
I am super excited for her as Sue Storm, though.
Yeah, she'll do good.
Yeah,
I like her in this movie. I like her in Napoleon when she has the pixie haircut and shows her lady parts there to Joaquin. That I saw a million times in the trailer, where she says, you know, if you look down, you'll see a surprise, and once you see it, you'll always want it. And then he looks down at her legs. She seems morally conflicted about them giving her this this pat down, this TSA pat down. This nightclub is crazy, but it does feel a little bit like, man, this talking is so long. We should at least show, set it in a place where things are moving constantly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we needed to move it halfway through.
Yep. Oh yeah, she's wearing a mime makeup for some reason.
Who,
the palm
Mantis? She is.
Yeah, she's got like a... She's the Poirot clown or whatever. Pagliacci there. I am liking that nose crinkling that Vanessa Kirby's doing a lot in this scene.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah.
The AI should have been talking. Like, that's another thing. Like they need to be jawing at each other, the Entity and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and I guess they do kind of make like Gabriel the human avatar of the Entity, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Like, they just revealed that the Entity is this party, and I'm seeing it.
I like that. So
but I'm not hearing it. I want to hear it. But yeah, it kind of makes up for what?
Kind of makes up for, like, what I was joking about, all the movement in the background. You're like, oh, shoot, it was there the whole time, warping around, but only a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Entity should have had some lines in this endless John scene.
Mm-hmm.
In this endless yik.
I hope it talks in the second one, because if it didn't, that'd be kind of weird. Like, are we just gonna see him fight Gabriel at the end, or is he, like, going to go toe-to-toe with the Entity in a real way?
That was always my beef with that Code Lyoko show, was that the villain was kind of lame, because Xana, I believe, was the name of the evil AI in that, and it was just an incorporeal entity. And and I remember being like, as a kid, being like, I'm not into this cartoon, because I want, like, a villain with, like, lines and a motivation. I kind of don't mind it here, because I feel like if it's yakking, that'll push it a little too far for me into just we're watching an evil computer movie, which I guess we are. I guess it's like a half measure.
Yeah, but like, again, and do you really find Gabriel to be a fitting avatar of the Entity?
No, I do not. That's the problem. But I also don't want it to talk either, I guess, overall.
So you would just want a stronger, like,
human henchman of the Entity. Hell, make Palm the villain.
Yeah.
Like, she's at least, your eyes are drawn to her wackiness.
Mm-hmm.
She even kind of looks like a Blade Runner robot. That would kind of fit.
Yeah. What is he talking about, dude? I
don't know. I mean, he is crazy, which I guess lets him off the hook for any of this making sense, but...
God, I remember as well, like you, I remember really liking this scene the first time I saw it, and thinking it was really tense and cool, but like, I am not feeling that on this rewatch.
Yep. I guess mainly because I know how it ends, and Ilsa... But that's no excuse, because, I've rewatched many things, and they're just...
Yeah, no, I don't think that's I mean, hell, I know how Jupiter Ascending ends, and it's still one of the greatest movies of all time.
And you're so tense when you watch it. You're like, what's gonna... I'm kidding. I love that movie, but I wouldn't say I'm tense through all of it. Well, like a what do you call it there? A Battlestar Galactica. When I'm watching 33 for the 8th time, I'm still like, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Should I introduce some water into this commentary?
I mean, you can. There is another fucking hour and 18 minutes left if you want to go take a sip.
Time for the kush to hit, as they say.
There's dinner cooking downstairs, and I'm just like, man, that smells good. I could be eating right now.
If I do, we would have to follow it up with The General, just to, like, have a movie I'm souped out to. It'll just be we'll have a very train Saturday.
It's Saturday full of train. Well, there is a train. There was a train in Mission Impossible 1. There is a train in this one. So yes, it would be a trainmentary.
Be the train, the trilogy, the train trilogy, the trainlogy.
We should have timed in between the action sequences. I really would have been curious, like, how much time has passed since that car chase.
Yeah, it actually is again half an hour. I think there's actually like an action or heisty type scene every half hour in this movie, which is a problem, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
compare that to I bet you if you clocked Fallout or even Rogue Nation, I bet you'd find the time significantly shorter.
Yeah, well, I guess also because those are also much shorter movies, but still, like, I can't imagine that there's like that much downtime compared to this between action scenes. Period.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I shouldn't be looking at movies like a mathematical formula, but it's just something I've noticed that it literally has been each half hour there's an action sequence, and I don't know if that was a good call on the editing of this movie. Hey, more sleight of hand.
I know. She also is a street magician.
She also dressed like a street magician.
She is. Yeah, I was about to say she is also dressed like one.
Like Captain Jack Sparrow there. It is a great outfit on the Haley Atwell.
Yes, it is.
That big white collar and all that. Vanessa Kirby too. They're all beautifully dressed.
Yeah.
Not Tom Cruise. I think his shoes are a little too shiny. But I do like her Seinfeld poofy pirate shirt get up. She looks like she can like throw a knife, from across the room. Man, everyone is just trying to arrest this character constantly.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Everybody is really after Haley Atwell.
Yeah, I feel like everyone else they just try to kill, but with her they're just like always grabbing her, and I don't know why compared to everybody else. Well, I guess because she has the key or whatever, so they need to interrogate or something. But it's just odd. She's getting manhandled a lot, and I don't approve. But you shouldn't treat people like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't keep manhandling women.
Yeah. Ethan Hunt grew past that because he was manhandling that lady in movie 1, but by movie 7, he's.
Why would you? So at this point, you've established that the AI is all over the place and manipulating things. Why would you ask them for help? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? That they're like, oh, I need eyes, even though they've established that nothing can be trusted.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, I feel like it should have been like this team gets more and more analog as the movie goes.
Yeah, but start bringing back. Start bringing back that old tech.
Yeah, I'm predicting that with the biplane. Maybe that's why there's biplanes in the second one. But I feel like that would be a cooler thing to show throughout, like him having to go more and more, back to wind up watches and stuff. I'm just trying to be exciting. This is an okay chase, but see, this one I don't think is as good of an action sequence as some before.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm being a Debbie Downer on this commentary. I don't want to, because I overall.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I don't think the movie's bad, but it is definitely watching it a second time. I'm definitely like, man, this is really.
I think I had this above 3 at the time. This might be my least favorite one.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of lean that way as well.
I think the razzle dazzle of the first time through made me rank it higher when I was first watching it. But yeah, this time around, the flaws are a little more apparent to me.
Yeah, and that doesn't make it a bad movie necessarily, but I definitely think it's definitely the lower end of the because even with the 2 and the 3, you have the J.J. Abrams of it all, and the Philip Seymour Hoffmans of it all, and the John Woo of it all. So I kind of am with you on it. I think it might be the weakest one for me as well.
Yeah, but I'm actually curious. Once we see Final Reckoning, we might actually just have to do the Woo and the Philip Seymour Hoffman. We might have to just do the rest of them, like just to get our feelings in order. Oh yeah, she fights him with this marching baton. Oh wait, it's a sword, right?
Oh, I guess this is the entity. I guess he does kind of talk.
That's right. We actually do get some lines from this thing.
Yeah.
They should have desecrated a dead actor like God Orson Welles to voice the entity through like the digital resurrection thing they do. Uh-oh, and she's coming at him with she's a bit of a Clockwork Orange kind of vibe. like a dystopian street punk kind of. Like, I feel like she would be hanging out with the Batman Beyond Jokers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she would be.
Yeah, get him, Tom Cruise. This is pretty cool. I do like this.
Well, again, it's not none of these
alleyway.
Yeah, none of these fight scenes are bad. It's just
still good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's coming right at me.
Just like that train earlier.
Yeah, man. The arrival of Palm at the station. Alrighty. I am
hydrated.
I'm getting hydrated as we speak.
Woohoo!
Hold on, I'm opening my little canister full of hydration.
I'm gonna get a sody then.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be going to the moon off of your sody pop while I go to the moon off my water, in quotation marks.
An actual sody, some cherry Pepsi.
Oh, so you've done your dead reckoning or whatever it's called.
My liquid death, yeah.
But now we're moving on to actual sody pop. It's good. Maybe I'm already tripping because I feel like I already saw this fight scene. He doesn't kill her, which is interesting.
Yeah. The guy looks like she died anyways because, like, it was a real...
She died of a broken heart, I guess, like Padme. I don't quite... I might have missed it because I was grabbling for water, but, like... Why does she look kind of remorseful?
I don't know. Her stuff is never revealed, so...
So I thought it was like, oh, I guess I don't understand it because she's a psycho killer. So why did she look kind of like, man, I went too far? Because it's not like Ilsa's dead yet. But I guess she knows she's marked for death and feels kind of bad about it. I think earlier you were like, do they sword fight? And I guess you are correct. Which is a cool sword fight.
Yeah. It is a cool set piece. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, all this foot chase is, and I do like it to your point about how this is not a gun-centric franchise except for the John Woo one.
Yeah.
That even when it's like one-on-one like this, it's not a gunfight. It's a sword fight. It's pretty cool.
You know what? Maybe we just didn't need to get so much explanation on what the AI is. Like, maybe trust the audience to understand what an AI is in this AI-driven world of ours.
Nah, definitely. And, you know, like... Well, no, that would be a bad idea. I just had a thought of like, and you can even have Benji be like, so like 2001 or Blade Runner.
Yeah,
that would suck. So don't do that. But I do agree with you. Like they could have been a lot faster with establishing.
Because there's like 4 conversations about it. Like,
yeah.
And I
you don't need that much talking about it.
Yeah, I just think the audience understands what AI is at this point. I mean, fuck. Even 2 years ago when this movie came out, I think we were pretty on the nose about what AI is.
Or 25 years after the movie AI, Artificial Intelligence, already came out with Little Robot Boy. Though I guess, because, AI used to just mean, like, robots in most people's head.
Yeah.
But now specifically refers to these dumb online, content-generating softwares. So I guess... But people figured that out pretty quick. I don't know.
I think 2 years ago, the AI conversation was far enough that if you said Tom Cruise is going to battle AI, I think most people would have understood...
Not
what they were getting into,
yeah, an online algorithm cloud, the cloud,
right?
It has a mind of its own, yada yada yada.
And like, I guess the other problem is like, this movie is all about finding the keys to unlock the AI, with Gabriel acting in the AI's interest. But what's the AI's motivation? Like, do you really like? I guess this movie works because it's just a race to get the key. But, like, at the same time, do you really understand what, like, I guess they rely on the audience to inherently know what the idea of a rogue AI is, but, like, it's not really explained in the movie unless we missed it. You know what I mean? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like, why am I afraid of this thing?
I'm trying to remember, like, I guess we should have listened to what he was saying to Tom Cruise when it actually spoke to him.
No, it just said, "You're done," and I was somewhat reading, yeah.
Yeah.
That first talkie meeting probably undercut what the fears of the AI were, but again, it could have been a PowerPoint.
Yeah, probably. Here, like, let's see.
This is good. This part's good.
Yeah, I know. I actually like all this stuff where we're back to base and we're mourning, and he's sitting on the veranda where he and his lady love were a few minutes ago. I like Vin Rames' pep talk with his cool beanie.
Oh yeah, mass time.
Yeah. I wonder what the final mask will be. It will probably be an Ilsa rips off and it's Elsa, I have to imagine. That'll be a reveal. But again, I don't want to know.
This is so fascinating.
Hey. I'm Vin Rames. I'm a big tough guy.
Just the idea that, like, just by the way, we were all criminals at one time or another, and...
Yeah, which, again, doesn't feel totally right. Oh, yeah, right. This is where she dresses up as Vanessa Kirby.
Yes.
And talks to Paul Zerny. And another scene that I liked at the time, but is indeed going to be more yakking coming up. This is your classic scene where, it's kind of a sexual tension as characters show each other how to do stuff, only this is how you put on a mask. This is the right way to do it. I've talked about that before, that movie, what is that movie called? Labor Day.
Yeah.
Where Josh Brolin is I think he's some kind of like bank robber who holds Kate Winslet and her son hostage in the house, but they fall in love. And there is an erotic scene where Josh Brolin, she's like mushing peaches for a pie, and he comes up behind her and goes, "That's not how you mush peaches." Like, moving her hands for her.
Oh yeah, some erotic mushes.
Sorry?
Some erotic pea mushing.
Yeah, exactly. Erotic peach mushing, which is just something. It stuck with me forever. Yeah, that's similar. It's hey, that's not how you put on a creepy mask. Let me show you the right way to do it. And that black tea movie I was telling you about has a lot of like, that's not the right way to pour tea. Let me show you how. By, putting my body around yours. I do like this dirty mirror they're hanging out in front of. But see, again, to my complaining, I feel like what we're learning about here, like, that could have been one yakking scene. Instead of, like, two
I do.
Yakkins.
It's so interesting that they're like... that they do this whole, like, hey... the whole IMF thing, like the whole, like, hey, this is the sale for joining the IMF. But it's a weird thing to do, like, one movie before your finale.
Yes. That's what's odd. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be a spin-off. Maybe it'll be Haley Atwell will take over.
Maybe.
Because it kind of feels like, yeah, like she's kind of supposed to be like the next generation, but it's weird because it's the last chapter of this.
And that's what they tried to do with Jeremy Renner, and that didn't work out. So this is their second attempt at that.
It's so funny because I love, like I said, Ghost Protocol. I don't think I've talked about enough, but like might be my favorite just because the set pieces are all so much fun to me. I like the Kremlin scene where they're projecting the fake hallway.
It's fun too because it's very slapdash. It's very, everything feels heightened because half the time the tech isn't working, and they even draw a point at that at the end. They're like, "Hey, most of the time nothing was working. The only thing that was working was this team." So
teamwork,
yeah,
which is even funnier that we never see that team again. That lineup.
Yep. Oh look, Analog, we're back.
Yeah, so okay, well, yeah. So what I was describing, they are kind of doing it,
So I guess Ving Rhames is going to kind of come back in the second one as like, okay, I did it. I made what was needed.
Yeah, and it's all homemade or whatever.
Yeah. Do you really need to question Tom Cruise at this point? Dude is...
Probably not, to be honest. He's pretty rock solid, I would dare say.
I feel like we don't need this conversation though. Like,
no, like it's very
obvious.
Redundant.
Yeah.
So much yakking.
It is a ton of... It's a ton of yakking. It's a ton of yakking.
Yeah. And again, I like me some yakking. I like movies that are mostly yakking, but I don't know. This one is not.
And it's just, I get Fallout does all this so much better, right? Like you.
Yeah.
It feels so much more tense and like. You get what's going on.
And it's also to get you hyped, because, like, Alec Baldwin says some wild stuff in Fallout. Doesn't he say, like, Ethan Hunt is the living embodiment of destiny?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's really telling you as he is the greatest human being to have ever been created. And it's kind of amazing. As opposed to here, it's kind of like telling you, like, you're an IMF now. And it's like, okay, I guess. Haley Atwell is now IMF.
Yeah.
I believe it, I guess. Hey! A train just pulled into the station.
It pulled around a curve. I don't know if it pulled into a station.
That's true. The turning of a train around a curve.
It was close enough, though.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is so long for what boils down to... We need to get this key to move on to the second part of this quest.
Yeah, it's all set up.
Yeah, we have been reminded.
They don't even kill Gabriel, right? He survived.
No, we've been reminded like several times that like it's not enough to get the key because we have to know where the key leads to, and we're no closer to that than we were 2 hours ago.
Mm-mm. And you're forgetting that submarine that happened, at the very beginning of the movie to tell you where it all is. Ooh, the Austrian Alps, though. Good old Vanessa Kirby. Loving that turtleneck.
Oh, yeah. Well, she looks nice.
Though. Yeah. Hey, boss, what's the matter? You look unhappy.
Oh, look! Mantis is back. Wait, why was she... Of all the places to, like, prepare to get on a train...
Yeah, she picked a weird one. I do remember this jump is pretty rad when he goes off with the motorcycle.
Oh yeah, it's the big action piece.
Yeah. Speaking of train stuff, I forget. How do you feel about the Lone Ranger with Armie Hammer and the Johnny Depp?
I liked it. Remember, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it.
We're both Team Lone Ranger, which
it's a very
perfect movie, but I think is like. And also a movie that I would say is probably too long because that one's also 3 hours for some reason. But the
he was in
the train.
Oh, that's that's the entity mask we see in the trailer in the second one. That's what that is.
That's how he communes with the. That's kind of goofy. I don't know how I feel about him having a weird like sex tank hanging out with the entity.
But yeah, I like that Armie Hammer movie. It's a shame that that dude went crazy and
Yeah. And now he's in a movie called The Dark Knight, but has nothing to do with The Dark Knight.
Oh, is he back again? Is Armie Hammer coming back?
I mean, he's in a movie from Uwe Boll, who considered one of the worst directors ever.
Oh, okay.
Directed Alone in the Dark and House of the Dead, and Blood Rain, if you remember those. But, so I wouldn't call him back, per se, but they are calling it The Dark Knight, which is very funny.
This is just a classic, like, I'm gonna take this train.
Yeah, man, crashing this train. He's doing the Great Train Robbery, 1903. Dang, Christopher McQuarrie's got something about hanging, because doesn't Solomon Grundy try to hang Ilsa in that Fallout movie. Yeah. Bad guys are always doing like impromptu hangings in this. I almost said
it's a lynching. It's a lynching.
Apologies to listeners. This might be the water kicking in.
Have you listened to the We Hate Movies Revenge of the Sith episode yet?
I have not, because Steve Sadak's not on it, so I'm less interested.
You know, funny enough, Chris Cabin likes that movie a fair bit.
Yeah, that's also why, because like I just saw it on the big screen, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I mean, it's got good parts, but I still cannot get onto this like the prequels are secretly masterpieces train.
The movement that it started on them.
Yeah, I think because everyone was mad about Rises. I mean, it was starting with the Disney ones, where everyone's like, "Oh, the prequels were freaking incredible compared to this Disney crap," and I'm like, man, in 20 years, you're gonna be like, the Disney movies were incredible next to this, whoever does
next to this Apple crap.
Exactly, yeah. Because I remember in the 80s, the everyone's like, Return of the Jedi ruined everything because those Ewoks sucked. Like I feel like Star Wars fans are just perpetually like really mad at the last one. And look, don't get me wrong, Rise of Skywalker I think is a very bad movie, but that doesn't like make the other ones masterpieces retroactively. But that's a story for another time.
I agree with you, though. I do think that is a weird come around.
So, as I've mentioned, feminist media critic Camille Paglia has that wacky video where she says that Revenge of the Sith is the greatest work of art in the last 30 years, and I'm including literature, which is pretty wild. But I'm kind of like, hey man, you do you. Oh, speaking of the prequels, this is getting out of hand. Now, there are two of them. You might notice as the water kicks in, I'm going to be going on tangents that are less and less connected. Because that was a long time to be talking about Star Wars uninterrupted. They're doing a pretty good job of making this.
He isn't curious why she's changed.
He's kind of like got some. He's giving her the side eye, but he's like, well, I guess she's nervous for this meeting. So
there's so many people involved in this movie. There's so many different organizations at play here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why it's 3 hours, because we gotta wrap, like this last one, we gotta wrap it all up and also say goodbye to every single character. So, like, I guess it can be 3 hours if we need to do that. The, like, Haley Atwell...
Oh, wait, isn't this potentially her dad? Wasn't that your Kittredge fan theory? Because he's out talking about being yay high and with her mother.
That was my fan theory. Maybe he was never informed. Like, he's like, your mother and I had a passionate affair many years ago, and suddenly I, saw her 9 months later, and you were around.
He just admitted he met her as a baby or a kid.
Knew her when you were yay big. So yeah. She probably just never told old Kittredge that he had a daughter. And it's sad, because they could finally be meeting here, but this is Haley Atwell, not Vanessa Kirby. I do like this dude. He looks like both of the challengers if you smushed them together.
No! You were right!
I was right.
I guess this really is her daughter. I was not entirely sure.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess I must have just misremembered that was actually a confirmed.
God, we are back to talking, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm getting a little like, this movie's not actually the best on a tall glass of water. Because it's more like if I came to a class stoned, and I'm like, oh shit, I hope nobody calls on me.
Who's this dude again?
This guy?
Yeah.
He was part of the crew yammering at the beginning with Kitteridge. Or do you mean the actor?
Yeah, no, I meant who is he in the movie.
I think he's just with Kitteridge.
Gabriel looks like he just came off of the dusty trail. He just got done being a frontier's man.
Yeah, man, he was just roping cattle or whatever. He was being a man. Back when a man could be a man. Still a lot of this movie to go, man.
Yeah, man.
And I know most of it's going to be a cool action scene, but still, that's a lot of yammering to something that doesn't resolve is what kind of makes it more.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We end this movie where we began this movie, if I remember, because he doesn't get the key. Gabriel gets the key.
Yep. But at least he is about to do that very cool jump, which is quite insane. Yeah.
Sevastopol Station is from Alien.
No.
Which is why whenever they say Sevastopol, I'm just like, I that's the video game.
Someday I'll get to make my pitch for an Alien movie that I'll never tell. Oh, the second key, the third key, all underwater.
So wait. The keys were on the Russian submarine scientist people, and they don't know where the submarine is. How did they get the keys? Because the keys were on the guys who died right in front of the submarine. Am I making sense? Why do they not know where the submarine is? How did the keys get from being at the submarine to being in play here? And
I guess, okay, wait, there's more flashbacks. Maybe this will show the... Maybe the submarine because it was heavier, got taken in a different direction by a different current.
Maybe?
The corpses of the people, went along faster. And I believe the trailer
Dude,
for Final Reckoning seems to imply that, like, some Inuits find the submersible.
I really think this movie, we don't not. You think about Top Gun. Think about Top Gun Maverick. Think about, how little is explained about also what they're doing. Just, here's the run that you have to finish. You have to do it in this. And, instead of worrying about, the logistics of it, right? The math behind it, they're just, they more worry about the time and, things that are going to be dangerous to the pilots, so that keeps the tension up. You know what I mean? When they explain the information, it's this will kill you if you don't do it right.
Right. It's not all about, again, who ended up where.
Yeah, or the great computational blah 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 of the.
Yeah, old Gabriel Byrne here. Yeah, doing his thing. Oh no, he knew she lacked the resolve to. Which makes sense, because I can't imagine you can find too many people that are, all in on, let's destroy the world.
Yeah. Handing over this iPhone.
Whoa, bajillion dollars will be all yours.
Oh.
It should have said a gajillion dollars.
It really should at this point.
Speaking of Austin Powers, they could have done $1 million. One key, 2 key,
3 key, 4 key. Dude, man, oh man.
And these are the keys to shut off the entity, right?
Or to control the end. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, maybe to control it, which is
again, man. I think it's kind of crazy how much this movie falters by over-explaining. That's really what's killing it. Again, I really think if you had just been there's a rogue AI out there, it can predict everything we can do. This key can lead us to it so we can shut it down. That's all you need to say, really. I think the rest of it, people would get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. This ain't too complex an idea to wrap your head around or whatever.
But and especially in this day and age,
yeah, everyone's afraid of AI for the same reason.
Yeah, people would get it, man.
But at least I'm getting hyped to see the scene.
As you fall asleep.
No, I'm actually pretty stoked to see Tom Cruise make this.
Just because it's something to see, man.
So seeing how red-faced that Simon Pegg's getting.
I it this part works. There should be more of this too. Just the teamwork aspects and Benji yelling at Tom Cruise and Tom Cruise yelling at Benji.
That's still that aspect is still a lot of fun. I still like. Yeah, it's why I enjoyed that riddle sequence, even though I didn't understand the resolution.
The resolution was that the AI was baiting them because there was really no nuclear material in there. I'm still not sure what the final puzzle was that he switched on, but yeah, man, how many times have we heard about like what this AI is capable of, but not what it wants? Like it's very weird the talky bits in this movie.
It just wants the world to explode because it doesn't like humans. I think that's it. It's just like, hey, it's like your Ultron. We need something new. Though unlike Ultron is doing it to save the planet. Whereas the AI is just doing it because it's like, I'm the new guy on planet Earth.
Why is he remembering all these women?
And he didn't find time to remember the merchandise lady from the first one.
The music guy from the music girl from Rogue Nation when they kill that woman in front of him.
Yeah, they should have remembered her. They should have remembered the lady from the Ghost Protocol team. They smooch and we never see her again.
I mean, God, that does look good, man. Like, how did it take so long to get to this?
And then he's actually getting, like, pushed back by the wind.
Yeah, look at his face. His face is literally, like, fucking...
It's very disturbing that
I know!
he's, like, falling, but actually getting wind resistance. That must mean he's very high up and would genuinely just splat if he hit the ground. That's very scary. Would you even, or have you ever done any like bungee jumping or anything like that?
I am terrified of heights, man. I don't even want to be on a fucking lighthouse.
A fucking what?
I don't even want to be on a fucking lighthouse, man.
Yeah. That don't like them.
Yeah, no, man. I'm terrified of flying. Not like terrified enough that I have to be drugged to get on the plane, but like I do not enjoy flying in that sense. Like being up in the air where if something goes wrong, I have no control over it is terrifying.
I agree. I have gotten. It's funny. I never had a fear of flying until the last couple of years. But yeah, now I am like. I sort of cross myself and make peace with my destiny when I get on a plane.
Man, if something goes wrong, there ain't nothing you can do. Man, no, there is.
And I guess that's true of being in a car, but it just doesn't feel the same.
No, yeah, because a car, like, you are in control or you can react.
Yeah, I could hypothetically, like, curl up in a ball or, jerk the wheel.
And there are safety measures in place to make sure you survive. There are not as many. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a planologist, but I don't know. Like, if something's coming out of the sky, there's no parachute for the plane, and no parachute for you. So,
I kind of like that scene in The Creator where all the there's every single passenger has a little pod that shoots them out of the ship when it starts crashing.
I'm man.
Hey, that should be the future. That would be pretty nice.
That's a future I can get behind. That's for sure.
Yeah. How about roller coasters? Because I know you.
So I used to not be a big roller coaster guy, but I don't so much. So the only roller coasters I've been on are ones that have been inside a building, and I can internally convince my mind that like. There's some sort of safety by being inside. Like, I would never want to be on one of those roller coasters that do loop-de-loops and are, like, outside, because that would probably terrify me. But, like, I love the Rock and Roller Coaster, but that's, again, an inside roller coaster, and I just pretend like,
you're not as freaked out when it's one of those indoor or dark roller coasters like Space Mountain or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I can just internalize that shit and just be like, oh, yeah, it's... And it goes by so fast, you aren't really...
Yeah. So that's not as bad as, when you're outside and see the blue sky and the wind in your hair, that's a lot more like, oh, geez.
Exactly.
But yeah, I would never do any, bungee cord stuff or zip line.
God, no. I could never...
I would zip line over, a pool.
Yeah.
not the cliff, high ones. Or parachuting, or skydiving. None of that for me, man.
No, man. I don't even want to be in a plane, much less jump out of a plane. Like, why would I jump out of a perfectly safe flying vehicle? It's just.
I guess that would cure my fear of flying to skydive. I don't know. I think I like being in the plane now.
Yeah.
One of the best King of the Hill jokes is where Peggy Hill skydives, but her chute doesn't work, so she just lands on the ground, and it's like a two-parter, so that's like the cliffhanger ending, and then over the credits they play Free Falling. But yeah, okay, so if I can do one critique of these action scenes, I do remember, and I'm starting to feel it a little bit, this train scene has a little too many digital backgrounds. It's funny, because obviously not compared to the first one, where it was all Spy Kids.
Yeah.
I remember some of this felt a little too green screeny for me. Even though I know it's a real stunt, like he's hanging from a train, but just the fact that the backgrounds aren't real means I don't totally appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. So he got to like redo the train, where he's actually doing it, but I still don't think it's one of the better stunts.
No, right. Because like it's probably just a train on a set, right? Like
something like that, or or they didn't, or even if it's like on a real location, I feel like a lot of these trees going by and signs don't feel like the real deal.
Gotcha.
Maybe the CGI fog and smoke. Gabriel does look like, communist Ron from Parks and Rec there.
He does.
Like a rugged wilderness man.
Looks like he's about to go out to the frontier.
Yeah. Which is also weird that he's an AI worshiper, because he looks like a real man of the earth. Shouldn't he be dressed like a Mark Zuckerberg asshole? You should have like an earpiece or something.
That's another problem of this movie. Like, I don't need to know who all Gabriel is, but like, he's not really a well built up baddie, right? Because like all you know is he's from his past, but somehow he can go toe to toe with Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, all you really know is he's a baddie from a long gone era, but he's
I needed to see a flashback of him and Tom Cruise training at Street Magic Defense, the Street Magic Defense classes.
Honestly, that might have helped that whole thing of when you're an IMF and we're all lonely orphans or whatever. Like maybe we could have seen Gabriel's hard life or whatever.
Yeah.
Could have been like a reverse, whereas Tom Cruise found a family with his, team or whatever. Gabriel just had a sad, lonely spy life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something to make you care a little more.
Something to at least make it understandable why, like, he's going toe to toe with a guy we've watched fight Henry Cavill on a mountain.
And yeah, see, like this part, like it's all, it's not as Spy Kidsy as the first one, but it is still like a fake ass tunnel we're hanging out in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And again, by and large, all the other action scenes in this movie are really awesome, but this train one is not amazing to me, which is funny because it's a redo of one he didn't like too much in the first one. So both times I'm kind of like, eh.
It is fun him hanging on that, like, using that other one as, like, a swing bar.
Yeah, like one knife for grabbing, one knife for stabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
They don't even know what the... Wait, I forgot that they don't even know what the key unlocks. They just keep... That again, this movie is very, very strange.
Yeah, I don't... for all the yammering, yeah, things are not nearly as clear as they should be. You leave that nice man alone, Tom Cruise. That Gabriel is a wonderful person, and you will not hurt him. He really wanted to kill that dude. I mean, he did kill his lady love, so I do understand. But...
That is so...
See, I'm wondering if there should have been more of that with Gabriel. That he, like, you know, has everything timed to the second with his AI buddy for help. Like, I guess I would have made him into a sillier character, but kind of a better villain.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Clock King's whole bit is.
Clock King. Clock King, yeah. He should have been a little bit of a Clock King. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It kind of made him a reverse Ethan Hunt, but where, like, Ethan Hunt has the natural skill, he, like, cheats it with help from the AI. That would have been something. Would have given him a little more zing as a character.
Fuck it. Oh, snap. Oh, Gabriel. You fell for the old switcheroony.
Yep, it's an old condom. No, sorry. Later.
I guess your AI buddy didn't know everything, so you didn't...
I do remember an old Scooby-Doo where the villain was the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
And at one point, I think it was like a sweet old uncle character. He's got his head, and they were like, "Holy crap, he stole his head!" And at the end, they're like, "Now let's see who this guy really is." And just like Kittredge, he's like, "Get off me, you morons! Like, stop tugging on my head." And they're like, "Oh shoot, it was sweet uncle whatever." And I remember as a kid being like, "Why would you not immediately assume that?" Like, just dressed like the Headless Horseman, I wouldn't be like, "Whoa, the Headless Horseman must have stolen his head." I would have been like, "Oh, that's clearly him. He did it."
I think it's too late to, like... Oh, if there's, like, an automatic braking system, then?
I suppose.
I don't know how trains work. I'm not a train guy.
You're not like Neil Young. He's a famous train guy. He like collects them and studies them and everything. I've always wanted to get into trains. I've always kind of wanted to be like riding the rails.
I've always wanted to do a train ride, but obviously that is expensive.
I've done a few in my day.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've never been.
Yeah, throughout my Florida. Yeah, like when I was in college, I would visit. My girlfriend at the time. We were like 4 hours apart, so I would go from Boca to Tallahassee via train. And
that's cool.
It was cool. It was like a scenic route, and I would be reading my book.
I wish it wasn't like so expensive. Is the problem? Like it's funny because even it's actually cheaper nowadays to fly than it is to even do like a Greyhound bus, which is crazy in and of itself.
It is crazy to think about because there should be way more of a like.
Because like when I had my own lady friend to go visit, who was in Virginia, and I kept going back and forth between Virginia and Florida for a bit there as I was trying to get established. I rode the Greyhound most of the time to see her, so I was like a big Greyhound guy for a hot minute there.
Yeah. Which is pretty awesome, but yeah, like I wish that was like more available, not just because of my fear of flying, but just because I feel like a more interconnected ground transportation that was like cheap and affordable would be like really good for the world.
Yeah.
And America's a little behind, doesn't have, the subway systems of a Japan or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not the expert on infrastructure, and especially under the influence of a tall glass of water, I am not.
How's this train sequence going for you?
I like it on the inside, actually. It's a little digital when we step outside of the train, but then like banging around with the plates and stuff is pretty cool.
I did like that whole. We were doing the kitchen. I thought the kitchen part was fun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where the plates are going up and down, and they're avoiding the flames of the oven. It's still a little too digital. I like it again on paper a lot. I especially like that it's the one cart at a time thing, and they have to keep moving ahead.
Did you ever watch that? Did you ever watch the Sony's escape room movies, where they did what escape rooms were murdery?
No, I've never seen it. There were two of them, right?
Yeah, there's two of them. There's the first one, and there's like the Contest of Champions ones.
the Duelist Kingdom escape room.
Yeah, that'd be a movie that Tom Cruise should tackle that franchise next.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, escape room. Yeah.
Who would he fucking be in Yu-Gi-Oh? Who the fuck would Tom Cruise? I guess he'd be Bandit Keith because he's the only American one.
He would be an amazing Bandit Keith. You put him in an American flag bandana and
a leather jacket.
That would actually be a good counterpoint to this one for the next Evil Cruise, because Bandit Keith, if you remember, has a machine deck. So that would be Tom Cruise actually allying with the machines.
Oh, that might be the best tall glass of water joke we've had on the commentary. Was you fucking thinking I was talking about Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh,
well, it's because I made I may be a little watered out, but I can logically explain why Yu-Gi-Oh came up, because you said like escape room World of Champions, and I said, oh, so like escape room Duelist Kingdom, because I was thinking like a tournament type situation.
I know.
That's why.
Oh,
that was the A to B to C that I went through.
God, now I have to find a fucking picture of Tom Cruise and then the Bandit Keith. It's gonna be a whole thing. That's
a good use of AI. Make a Tom Cruise Bandit Keith image with it.
Oh, this thumbnail brought to you by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
David's high ass mind.
So I think in general you should just stick to doing it the old-fashioned way, because your art is beautiful. But because this is a movie about an evil AI, you should use ChatGPT to create it this one time. That would be a good exception. To make your Tom Cruise as Bandit Keith.
Oh.
And I guess it would be you in the Yu-Gi-Oh hair, and it would be you as Maximilian Pegasus or something.
Oh, this girl had a knife in her, and she was able to pull up.
Yeah, she was able to pull up 2 guys without blood going everywhere. Does she die?
Yeah, I think she's dying now. I'm pretty sure she's dying now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Whoa. That's pretty cosmic stuff, man.
Girl, just come on. Can we get the information?
Hey, the end of Mulholland Drive. Naomi Watts asks the hitman what is the key unlock, and he just laughs evilly. So, two commentaries we've done about keys.
Yep.
This might give the Bollywood movie Chalet a run for its money. There's a long death scene at the end of that one, which is also like a holding somebody, being like, "Don't you go, man." It takes like 10 minutes because it's like, Bollywood movies are very long, if you recall.
Yes, they are.
She cries too much, even when she.
Even in death, she shall cry.
Come on, toughen up, kid. Don't be a crybaby. My life is too dangerous to share with another. True, you must follow your destiny. I'm just making up lines for them.
It's funny how a major component of this movie is like getting Grace down on the EMF train.
Yeah. Like, just selling her on, like, hey, don't you want to...
Isn't all this life-defying stuff cool, man?
Mm-hmm. Can't do it. Aw, see, he had a bit of an arc. He could have murdered Tom Cruise right there, but he didn't want to.
Oh, wait, is she alive then?
Yeah, she might be. I thought she might have been in the next one from a shot in the trailer, but I could have been making that up. So maybe she is gets to fight another day. And old Haley Atwell is like, "Welcome to my world, Mr. McGinnis."
Yeah, it's just all for her to sip that Kool-Aid.
Yep, she's like, I'm in. She sees him go away on a parachute, and she's like, I want a cool parachute like that, so I'll join the IMF. I believe I can fly.
Do you think any of these people are going to die in the next movie?
Huh? Do I? Oh, you want me to do like betting odds on who's gonna die?
Yeah, who of the cast is the main cast is gonna die? So see, what I'm really asking you is who is gonna die? Tom Cruise, Benji, or Ving Rhames? Because that's really the only ones who.
I'm gonna guess Benji.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say Tom Cruise might die, but it might be a fake out.
Gotcha. The key is only the beginning. We spent 2 hours.
is probably safe. Yep, took us 3 hours to get here.
But what is the price? You have not established that. God, it
costs. I guess it cost him poor Mantis there.
No, she still seems to be alive.
Yeah, they're like, she'll live. Now they travel the world. Oh wait, this is showing where the sub is, right?
And this is when the mermaids come. And Tom Cruise has to battle the mermaids.
That would be kind of rad, Tom Cruise v. mermaids.
I mean, Daniel Craig fought aliens, so...
Yeah, that's like a Blumhouse movie I'd watch, like evil mermaids with sharp teeth, and they're trying to get Tom Cruise, and he's punching him off the bow of the ship.
Next up, Mission Impossible 6. Why aren't you giving me the second one? What is going on here, Amazon? It's very weird.
To watch 176.
Yeah.
It's like the machete order of Star Wars. They want you to watch it in a specific way.
Clearly. The AI is trying to tell me something. Oh. But yeah, that was that. I'm with you. I think it might be my least favorite as of this point. Because yeah, it's just there's just so much talking, man, and it's like conversations that don't need to happen, that don't need to be spoken out loud. Like there's a lot of, like it's one thing if the talking is to the help of the story, but I don't think it really helps the story, to be honest with you, man. I actually think it kind of deadens it, because by the time you're done with it, you're kind of just glazed over, what is even what are we doing? What is
it's a lot of information, and not either fun or helpful information. Because if it was just really convoluted with just all these double crosses and stuff, that would at least be fun to untangle,
Mm-hmm. Well, to your effect, I know you were just talking about how the second, you don't like the second Pirates movie as much, but
yeah, you are right. That one, does at least have the fun. Double crosses and who's on whose side. And
stuff. And every conversation they have, I'd argue, is at least interesting, because there's a real hang on, let me catch up. Who's betraying who at this point? Oh wait, we're doing it. It doesn't give you a break, because so much of it is fast and oh, now he's on this side, now he's on that side. There's a real zaniness to it, or chaos entity to it that I really enjoy, because I really like too, because of its liar's dice, and then how it kind of plays with that game, and then also actually makes that a real thing that's happening in the movie. Whereas this, it's just endless talking of but nothing. There's nothing to the conversations they're having. They don't have any real weight to them, right? They talk about the entity, but what is the entity? What does it want? What is it doing? What is it trying to get access to? There's
we should see it do some scarier stuff. It should blow up a building or something. Be oh dang. Actually, that would have been for that opening at the airport. It should have been maybe they actually totally fail, and the entity actually hurts or kills some people.
Yeah, or totally blows up one half of the airport, and they have to run out of it as it's crumbling around them. I mean, something.
Oh geez. Yeah. Oh geez. If this thing can do this, what else can it do? That's something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, as a threat, I don't really feel it super deep.
No. And because so much of its threat is dependent on Gabriel, and Gabriel kind of sucks.
kind of a non-factor as a character, villain, or anything.
Yeah, like I don't. It's not. It doesn't help at all. You know.
No.
Is he?
No,
I mean, I would say one of the. He might even be also the worst of the Marvel villains. Or not Marvel villains. I'm sorry. The Mission Impossible villains. I guess I don't really remember who the second Mission Impossible villain is. I know it's a dude who.
Doug Ray Scott is the actor who was almost Wolverine. He's kind of nothing, but Gabriel is probably better than him, but not by much because he's very convoluted. At least the Mission Impossible 2 bad guy, I kind of understood what he was after, whatever it may be. The evil whatever, the explodey thing, or the
whatever the MacGuffin was in that.
Yeah, so I like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Obviously, John Voight's cool. I actually love the 4 guy.
The guy who really loves nuclear explosions.
Yeah, and they're crushing each other, they're throwing cars at each other at the end, which is pretty cool. And yeah, 5 and 6, you got my boy Solomon, who's great. Like I was saying, again, maybe because I'm just thinking in threes, but I'm like, if you're making Solomon the baddie in 1 and 2, why not just have him be in 3 to like close out that trilogy, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. It's
do more Syndicate nonsense and have him be Gabriel. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him going
back everybody, Vanessa Kirby, and
I could see him sipping that AI tea pretty hard too, and getting all like indoctrinated and stuff by it. So yeah,
he's already a weird dude. So I don't know.
Man, that is interesting. I really.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to go. I mean, I sort of. Going in, I kind of, like I said, like, the criticisms of Final Reckoning I already kind of felt here, because even though I liked it in the theater, I've never really wanted to go back to this one, like, for Fallout or the other ones, so I kind of had this vibe, but, like, yeah, seeing it play out was kind of a bummer to be like, yeah, a lot of this talk, even the talk I liked at the time, I like way less.
Yeah, and, like, again, don't get me wrong, it's still a good movie. Like, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it definitely.
I don't think it was a bad Mission Impossible yet.
Yeah,
we'll see how Final Reckoning goes, but I don't even think that'll be bad. It'll be cool.
But it's definitely like this is so much, just so much piled on top of it, and it's yeah,
a whole lot of yakking, but.
I was catching your yawns kind of towards the end there. I was like, yeah, this is I could go to bed to this.
It is good ASMR, just all the just all the dialogue together in a row. Well, on that note, kind of a bummer, but you know what? It ain't so bad.
Nah, it's still a Mission Impossible movie. It still manages to like hit those highs, and it gives you the action that you're looking for.
The sword fight's awesome. The driving around is real awesome. There's excellent stuff within. The Tom Cruise motorcycle parachute jump is like an all-timer. Yeah,
I'm interested to see what like the big action sequences are going to be of the next one. I mean, it's always interesting to see how they. I do think that they're kind of reaching that point where like how the one-upping can't go on forever. Eventually, you have to.
I think that's got to be a big factor of why they're ending it. Honestly, is because they're like, yeah, man, like, what else? Like, until we can actually get him into space, like, hang on to a rocket as it goes up.
Yep.
Where else do you go from here?
Yep. Nope. How much further can you take him? And technically, Fast already beat them because Fast, as we infamously know, brings them to space.
They did finally go to space.
Yep, they did. With the help of fucking Shane Black or whatever his name is.
Yeah, man, he makes them that crazy ass space car.
Yep. Oh, Such a good.
Anyway, on that note, we'll do the fasts at some point, but that's a while away.
Oh yeah, no, one day.
No promises on that one.
One day. But if you'd like to see us do all the Mission Impossible movies, by all means, jump into the thing. Let us know.
We'll definitely be going back to this well, because I feel like coming out of Final Reckoning, I'll have some thoughts, and that will probably spur me to want to watch more in the series. So.
Yep. And next week we'll be finishing Doctor Who and getting our big Doctor Who thoughts on paper. It was kind of
listeners at home. I've been holding Doctor Who opinions close to my chest so that Tanner and I can have a good talk about it.
Yeah, he's ransoming them to me because I've asked him several times, "What were your thoughts on this?" And I've gotten nothing but mum silence.
Yeah, because I'm like, I think it would be good if we have a good old, powwow on the whole Nakuti Gatwa season.
Yep. So you got that to look forward to as well. David, is there anything going on in your filmography? How's your stuff going? Anything you want to plug?
Still plugging and chugging away at this film noir that I'm writing and planning to shoot this year. The next one, though, actually depends on what order it comes out, but I'm going to be doing a short film based on an ancient Greek play, The Cyclops, because, Christopher Nolan's making that big budget Odyssey next year, and I was like, what better way to cash in and rip him off than by beating him to the punch and making a Cyclops of my own. So get excited for that.
Getting in on the action, so to speak.
Yep, on the Odyssey train.
What else? What else? I mean, there is the big, our big adventure, which is actually coming up pretty darn soon.
Listeners, I mean, we hide it so well with the sound design, but we actually live in different states, Tanner and I. But we will be reunited in July to watch James Gunn's Superman on as large a screen as possible, after which we will be doing an epic-sized Superman powwow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled for that.
And there'll probably be more stuff we'll be doing during my vacation. It'll be
Yes. There will be at least one other commentary. We will probably be doing a mutual tall glass of water to a film to be determined. We're thinking Pacific Rim, maybe?
It's always been the dream, man.
Perhaps a Spider-Verse?
Oh, man, there might be two tall glass of waters because,
double feature.
I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to cry my eyes out over Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Over What's Up Danger and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. You might have to take me to the hospital. I might literally have a heart attack.
Yeah, I might have to wheel you out on a stretcher or whatever.
But yeah, that'll be happening in the beginning part of July. So it's it's like almost a month away, man. If you can believe that.
I know, it's coming up. It's coming up fast. It's like a month and 2 weeks or something. It's pretty soon.
Yeah, man.
And I'm still keeping my eyes peeled for when Superman tickets go up.
Yeah, because
the tentative sale date is rumored to be June 12th, so I will be keeping my finger on the button as we get to June 12th.
Damn right. It'll be my first IMAX movie in I think since the Batman. Because I'm pretty sure when I went to the Batman...
You drove out to the big city for that one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we saw it on IMAX. So it'll be my first IMAX since the Batman, which is kind of funny in and of itself that my next IMAX is Superman.
Yep, you only do them for the big DC guys, the big two. And if there'd ever be a third Wonder Woman, I guess we'd go there for the trio, but...
Wonder Woman.
That's its own can of worms. We're not going to end Mission Impossible talking about...
No, we're not.
That'll never happen.
But next time, definitely Saltburn. Definitely Saltburn.
Saltburn's coming up. Get ready for that.
Yep.
And
Saltburn who?
Yep. If your mission, if you choose to accept it, which we probably won't, is to watch Saltburn.
Yep. Oh, all right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Benji's great. Ilsa's great. All my favorites. Love them all. Let's hope they all turn out okay in the final reckoning. I'm rooting for those.
Somebody's
kids.
dying for sure. I don't know who it is, but somebody's dying.
You gotta sniff a tragedy. Kittredge, man, he'll die saving Tom Cruise.
And
we'll finally do a stunt, and he actually died.
All right. See y'all in the next one.
Bye bye.